Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, which is all about income-oriented investing. And guess what? It's your favorite video. It's another portfolio unveiled video where I will show you my portfolio from A to Z as usual every single month, guys. So this video is update number 23 to cover all the changes in March of 2023. So I have a YouTube playlist dedicated to all my portfolio unveiled videos. In case you're new here, in case you didn't know that, where pretty much every month I keep track and keep you guys updated on all the changes I made and my entire portfolio. So a quick note about my investing style in case you're newer to the channel. I'm a long-term buy and hold income-oriented investor. So the primary objective of the strategy is to generate high and consistent monthly passive income every single month as safely as possible so I could live comfortably off my distribution. So most, if not all, my returns do not come from capital appreciation, but they come from the income my portfolio generates. How do I achieve this? As you will see my portfolio soon, I achieve this by primarily investing in funds that hold blue chip, high quality dividend stocks or indexes and use income enhancing strategies, mostly covered calls and leverage, and sometimes a combination of the two. So they provide fairly consistent income. And the intent is really to hold them long term, never sell them for a profit, but simply to collect the passive income forever. So what will I show you in this video? As usual, I will quickly show you an overview of my investing accounts so you can see the value of them. In passive, a little portfolio tracking tool that I really like to track my accounts and my income and everything like that. It consolidates all 6 investing accounts that we have, so it's easier to digest. But I'm really showing it to you so you know, or that you see, that the amounts in the video title and the thumbnail are 100% legit. And after that, I will show you everything in Excel files where it's going to be much easier to digest. So I'll show you all my holdings, my book prices, my yield, all the changes, most importantly, all the changes I made from the last portfolio unveil, and any news or any changes from any of the holdings. So let's get started. And remember that when I show my Excel files, it might be small on the screen. You could download my entire portfolio for free on our website, passiveincomeinvesting.ca. Just click on free tools at the top and it will be the very first download. So you could always download the Excel file and follow along yourself. Let's get started. Before we continue, I'd like to take a quick moment to thank the sponsor of this video, Brompton Funds, a Canadian income-oriented fund manager, which recently launched their own all-in-one enhanced covered call ETF. Of course, I'm talking about the Brompton Enhanced Multi-Asset Income ETF. The stock symbol is BMAX. It's a monthly payer, approximately 10% yield right now, and it's very diversified. And I think out of the 4 all-in-one covered call ETF solutions that we have now on the Canadian market, it's the most defensive, it's the most conservative because it has 70% in equity and 30% in fixed income. So I strongly suggest you guys check out the breakdown on their website. The link is in the video description below. All you have to do is click on portfolio and you could see how really well diversified and defensive it is. All right, everyone. So as usual, here is my portfolio, or the summary of my portfolio value in a nice, cute little app called PASSIV. This is where I track all my accounts. It basically consolidates all the accounts here. And I am filming this, just like you can see at the bottom, on March the 29th. And the stock market's not closed yet. But this is my total value of all 6 of my investing accounts. You could see that here. And in case you're new here, just remember, I kind of have it's separated into, I have my main portfolio here, which is basically my TFSA, my wife's TFSA, and our joint cash account or non-registered account. So the whole main portfolio value you can see here is 652. Remember that, because when I show you the Excel, it's going to say 652. So you know where I got it from. And then there's the retirement accounts, which include Erica's RSP, my RSP, and also my small Lira account. So if you combine all 6 of these accounts, you click on dashboard, it's about 1.1 million or just under that right now. It has gone up a little bit in the last couple of days because the market has done well. So this is just to show you that my thumbnail and all the amounts that I'm telling you are 100% legit here. And in case you didn't download PASSIV yourself, I strongly suggest you do it. There is a free version. Don't forget that there is a free version, the community user version, where it's free forever. And you could basically, it's a nice little tool which will help you track your dividends. You could connect your broker to it. And a reminder that if you're a Questrade, you use Questrade like I do, you get the elite membership. which is usually $100 a year, completely for free. So the elite membership, there's extra features, extra great features you could use. It's normally $100, but completely free for Questrade clients. And if you don't use Questrade and you want to try out the elite membership, I have a link in the video description where you could get 50% off for the first year. But at the very least, everyone, try the free version. It's a really cool, neat tool where, you know, this is what I log into to check my accounts and the status and my dividends, not my Questrade accounts, because here it consolidates all 6 accounts together. The reporting tab is particularly useful, where you could check out all the dividends you got for whatever accounts you select. This is actually how I keep track of my monthly dividends, using the reporting. And then there's a bunch of other cool tools like models, where you can create your own models and you can keep track of your portfolio. It'll warn you if you're going over your allocated model that you built. So very, very interesting. I strongly suggest you check it out. So now that you've seen the totals here, let's go do a deep dive into every single one of my accounts. So we're going to start with the retirement accounts first, and then we're going to take a look at the main portfolio. And remember, you could download the entire thing off my website for free, passiveincomeinvesting.ca, in case it's too small and you could follow along, on your own. All right, let's start with the retirement accounts, everyone, which is my RSP, my wife's RSP, and my small Lira account. A lot of big changes this month, especially, well, exclusively on my account, actually. So we'll go over them, all the changes from last month's Unveil. And if we just click on RSP tracker here, you'll see all the changes that I made in March. So I finally decided, everyone, to drop or get rid of my ORC holding. And I also decided to get rid of all my remaining Ether or ETHY.U. So I did take a loss on both of these sales. I'm still very happy I did that because like I keep explaining, my RSP, this is really my fun account. Like I say here, I'm trying to maximize my yield. I wasn't having much fun or any, that much yield. With the Ether one, they keep giving the same dividend. So I was only making about 8% yield. This is where I really want to have some fun here and I want maximum yield. So I decided to drop it, even, if it's at a loss. I can't remember the loss I actually took. If you actually consider all the dividends I got from the Ether, the loss was something like $4,000 or something like that on a $15,000 investment. ORC as well, I did take a big loss on that, about $5,000, I believe, $15,000 investment, a $5,000 loss if you count all the income I got. I could have just kept these two, kept collecting the premiums, but I decided to just rip the band-aid off because this is my fun account again. And I really didn't, losses didn't really bother me. I am still up on this account overall because remember, the only thing I track, since nothing is coming out of these accounts, I'm not extracting anything, is the RSP contributions total, which I have stopped contributing completely to my RSP, and the RSP value, which is higher. So I'm up anyway. So what did I do with the proceeds from ETHY and ORC? ORC, I got actually good timing on it. I sold it before all this banking stuff started happening on the US, and then ORC went down even more. So I actually got some decent timing on it. Of course, I still, got a loss, but what can you do? So I put more in ORC. So ORC, I even put some in the TSLY. So in case you missed the video, there's these brand new Yield Max, very interesting, high yield ETFs on the US market that just came out. It's a synthetic covered call strategy on Tesla, synthetic covered call strategy on Cathie Wood's ARK ETF, that is OARK. So I put a lot in there. Added, of course, a little bit in HYGW, which was one of my core holdings, and SVOL, of course, I added 5K in there. We all love SVOL. It's doing phenomenal. So in case you didn't know, all my primary positions, I put it in gold, and what I consider my really more secondary positions are these ones here. So I do have a nice chunk in OARK now at 12.5. I'm making a phenomenal yield, and I even got a little bit of the Tesla one, 3,500. I'm not going to go too crazy on the Tesla one. I think it's, I already have some in the main portfolio, similar fund from Purpose, which I'll show you in a second. But these crazy yields is really has helped my overall yield to go over 20% now, which I'm super happy with. 21.57% yield, and I think it's only going to go up because I really like these funds here. So far, they've been performing really well, but remember, they are volatility harvesting strategies. The only reason they're making such high yields is because the underlying are very, very volatile. These are what I consider higher risk, more niche funds, everyone. So just be careful with those. Again, I keep saying it. This is really my fun account. So right now, I'm making finally cracked $3,000 US monthly on this account, and it's just being reinvested however I see fit every single month. So we can go down the list of funds here. CLM, let's get ready because they're probably going to do a rights offering. It's usually done in April. It's not guaranteed, or I can't really say if they're going to do it or not, but CLM typically goes down in value, and the NAV, the discount premium ratio typically gets very, very attractive during that rights offering. So maybe I'll pick up some more CLM next month. In the next Unveiled, you will see that. SVOL performing extremely well, beating the S&P 500. It's definitely a staple and a primary position in this portfolio. CEFD kind of taking a beating lately, but that's because it's very fixed income oriented. Anything fixed income, everyone, has been taking a beating in 2022, but it's performing more or less how I expected to. It's following the overall closed-end fund market, or closed-end funds on the US market. One good thing about this one, at least there's no covered calls on it. So it's, it pretty much does whatever the overall market does. It's still pumping out great monthly dividends. My lowest yield actually right now. Maybe I'll add some in a bit. And then you have the iShares corporate bond covered call ETF, HYGW, which is performing completely fine. I'm making a really, really nice yield on it. Very surprised with the yield here. I have USOI. Now let's talk about the secondary positions, which has been giving out tremendous dividends lately because there's a lot of volatility with oil and oil prices. So USOI will give out higher income if there's a lot of volatility with oil. But again, very secondary, very niche position here. You got to be careful. I really doubt I will ever put more than 15K in any of these secondary positions. That's my plan right now. BDCX, the only thing I don't like about it is that it's a quarterly dividend, but it's going to declare it in April. Over 15% yield, can't complain. Down a little bit on this, but it's not a problem. It's designed for high income. I'm pretty much almost, I'm in a profit if you actually count the income on this one. Even USOI, I think I'm at a profit if you actually count the income. OARC, I got my first dividend. It was like $600 or something, 600 Canadian dollars. It was complete shock. I mean, it's incredible that for OARC and TSLY, how they're able to sustain these high, crazy high dividends. But of course, you got to expect volatility with the distributions. If you haven't caught the video where I actually interview the fund manager who manages these funds and how they work, I explain it. Make sure to check out that video. I am definitely keeping an eye on these, and I think that the ones that come out, especially the ETF ones, I'm not too crazy about the single stock ones like the Tesla one. I like more the ETF ones because they're obviously more broad in scope. I always tell you guys, I like to be broad instead of niche, are a lot more interesting, but probably going to have a lot less yield than the single stock ones. So more risk equals more reward, but more volatility. So all in all, I'm very happy. This is really my goal for my RSP. My wife's RSP is really to generate as much income as possible, not use it and reinvest it. So my account is not on drip here, as you all well know. My wife's account is more of a classic conservative strategy where the main holding is HYLD.U. That is my main equity holding. RIV is an all-in-one closed-end fund solution, which is very attractive right now. It's trading at a big discount, so I'm very happy to keep this and just buying more units at a discount. And I know many of you are probably disappointed. You have RIV, you have OPP. Just have a long-term time horizon would be my opinion. OPP is especially attractive now, over 10% discount. Pretty crazy. So I'm just happy. These are just dripping away. My wife's account is completely hands off. It's just dripping away. And RA for my real assets. So equity, fixed income. Equity, fixed income, and my real estate or real assets. So that's how I like to do Erica's RSP. On drip, just completely going. My Lira just has Bitcoin. I did a Hail Mary. I just said let's just go nuts, and this is basically my leftover pension money from Air Canada, and it's actually Bitcoin has picked up lately. I'm only down 38% on it, and I get a monthly dividend which just drips and buys more shares. So if you consider the exchange rate, which as of today I'm filming this $1.36, my monthly income, all three accounts together, translated to Canadian dollars, is 67.82. So very, very high. And a big majority of that boost has come from the changes I made in my RSP. So I couldn't be happier with my retirement accounts. They're just dripping away, compounding away. I have no intention of touching them for at least 15 to 20 years when we're about 55 or in our mid 50s, and then maybe we'll turn them into RIFs. But anyway, more on that when the time comes. So this is the retirement accounts, everyone. Now let's look at the main portfolio, which is the portfolio that I actually live off of and use to pay my bills. Super quick, I forgot to show you where I actually get these numbers here. What is the RSP value? Well, I actually get it from Passive. I just want to show you that what I'm telling you is legit here. So you see Erica's RSP total is 220. Mine is 196, and then you have the lira at 20.6. So this is where I get these numbers: 196, 220, 20.6. Just want to make sure you guys understand where I'm getting these numbers. Of course, it changes every day, every hour, right, based on stock prices. So if we look at the main portfolio now, so here's the main portfolio, which again, everyone, combination of my TFSA, my wife's TFSA, and our non-registered joint account, commonly known as the cash account, or Questrade calls it the margin account. So here is the portfolio. Once again, the ones in gold are the core, what I consider are core positions. And let's go back and see the tracker and what are the changes I've made in March, because there is a big one. I sold SBC. So I decided to sell SBC at a big capital gain. And the reason was pretty simple, is because I was crunching the numbers and I quickly realized that if I sold SBC and swapped it mostly into HMAX, which is a fund that holds very similar stocks. Obviously, if I'm going to swap something or streamline my portfolio, I want to streamline to kind of replicate the same thing. So I streamlined SBC. I made a $10,000 capital gain. So I invested 20 grand in SBC. I was up about 10 grand. So that 30,000, I put 20,000 in HMAX and about 10,000 in HYLD. And that move increased my monthly income to $90 a month. So just doing that, I increased my monthly income by $90 a month. So remember, guys, my whole premise, my whole strategy is to make as much income as I can. So for me, it made sense doing this swap. Not because I don't like SBC or anything like that. I really like it, actually. But I'm always trying to maximize my income. Now, another criticism I typically get: well, you're a buy and hold investor, but you do sales, or you do some swaps. Well, yeah, whenever I invest in something, everyone, I do have the intention of buying and holding it forever. But it doesn't mean if I see an opportunity to streamline or to swap into another similar product, I will do that if it makes sense and to increase my monthly income. So that is the only sale I've done in March. I don't expect to do many more sales going forward. Just did 2 sales this year. So, like I said, I put 20K of that SBC, 30K into HMAX, and then 10K into HYLD. Then I put a little bit extra in HYLD. I did put 5K in HDIF. Really good opportunity lately for HDIF, because it does have that US banks ETF, which the US banking sector took a big hit. So I put quite a bit in HDIF, and I put a little bit in HDIV as well, because it has very heavy financials, and financials went down. So HDIV went down. So I'm basically just keep going. I'm averaging down my core positions here. So let's go through them one by one, everyone, and then we'll look at the portfolio summary. So HYLD, I am finally over 12% yield right now with a book price of $13.82. It's much less than that. It just crossed $12 today. So HYLD is it's doing fairly well lately. It's going back up, and I couldn't be happier with this one. No dividend cut, just a consistent stream of income, and my biggest position by far here at 24%. HDIV, like I said, I added a little bit to it, 2,500, so I'm at like 52.5. My book price, I lowered it to 16.84, so I'm getting a nice yield of 9.62, which was helped by the recent dividend increase a few months ago. HDIV, I really want to keep adding to this one. It is now my second biggest position, or it will be. You'll see in the next portfolio Unveiled. Right now, it's actually tied with RS, but HDIF with an F it's really good time to buy one now. So I'm averaging down. My yield is a little over 9%. You could see that out of the 4 all-in-ones, it's actually my lowest yield. So I want to bump that up here. So I'm just going to keep averaging down HDIV probably in the next month or so. Then you have BMAX, which is newer, very consistent. And I have it at 9.37% yield. So book price of $12.81. So these are really core foundational positions. They're the 4 all-in-one covered call enhanced or leverage solutions that exist on the Canadian market. You guys know that these are really the ones I prefer the most. HMAX is good. So I have 30K in HMAX now with an average price or book cost of just under 16, making really, really phenomenal yield. They declared their second distribution, same thing as the first one. So no surprises there. Really, really good one. And I got the question last month, why isn't HMAX in gold? Why isn't it a core position? Well, I like to specifically do what I consider core positions diversified. HMAX is not really diversified, but hey, if you feel that HMAX is a core position for you, you could consider it a core position, not a problem. BTCY, ETHY, the crypto ones, the biggest drag by far, not only on the capital, which, you know, if you remember that 652, well, my current portfolio value is 652 compared to my overall book cost of 725. So I'm down 10% overall. Remember, this is unrealized, very important, but these two are definitely the biggest drags on my portfolio, but they've done fairly well in terms of stock price. They're recovering because, you know, crypto has done really well when there's instability in the financial system. It looks like these guys go up. So the only disappointing thing is that the distribution hasn't increased. My only assumption there is that they're writing less calls on it because they feel like there's more upside. Remember, they're trying to balance the total return here. So if they feel there's more upside potential, they'll probably write less calls. But hey, I'm making, you know, 4%, 4.22% here. So it's not so bad. And then, of course, I have one of my best performers is the Purpose Tesla Yield Shares ETF, which is a single stock ETF, which is leveraged 25%, does cover calls on Tesla. I was lucky enough to really buy it when it was really, really low at $14. So I'm making a 26% yield on it. And I think they declared their fourth or fifth distribution now. It's been the same. The annual translates to 368. It's like 30 cents a month or something. So very, very happy with this phenomenal yield here. So that is the ETFs. Those are the ETFs portion of my portfolio, which now makes 60% of my portfolio. In terms of closed-end funds now, we have EIT. EIT is another one of what I consider core positions. It's done really well lately. It's taken a little bit of a hit lately because it's very heavy on energy and financials, which has gone down lately, but it's slowly recovering. I haven't bought any for a while because you know, my book price is 1065. So when I buy something, I try to average down, right? I'm always averaging down. So in this case, if I buy more EIT, I would be averaging up. So as soon as it goes under 1065, then maybe I'll start buying some. So these are my, you know, what I consider the big five. And then RS is also a core position for me, although it's not diversified. It's only real estate. But for me, it is a core position because I personally don't own any physical real estate. So RS is tied with HDIF for the second biggest holding, and HYLD definitely the number one holding. So let's go through the list real quick here. So DFN, FTN, completely fine, not missed any dividends, although DFN was fairly close. LBS, same thing, performing really well. I have a really nice high yield on this one, especially because I had bought some in 2020 and averaged down to 709. So SBC, of course, is not here anymore. I'm kind of sad to see it go because it was a really, really good fund, but I will always be keeping LBS because, you know, I want to have different, I don't want to just put all my financials exposure in HMAX, for example. I like to have different fund managers and different fund strategies as well. DGS, unfortunately, not paying a dividend right now. So my monthly income, I know, you know, it's saying 6,600 here, but it's technically 6,300 because I had missed and probably will miss this dividend unless DGS goes over 15 unit NAV, unfortunately. So it's pretty much zero. It's not 306, just being completely honest. But I'm just going to leave it. And you know, you got to expect this with DGS. It sometimes will miss dividends. The higher the yield is on these split funds, the more of a chance there is to miss dividends. So, you know, I didn't add it here, but I'm going to put April. I have to add my distribution missed April as well. GDV, still have a little bit in GDV, 25K, just chugging along. Always impressed with this one. Never even seems to get close to $15 unit NAV, even with the latest market volatility, always near 17 unit NAV. ENS staying strong, very, very strong. Couldn't be happier with this one. RS as well, just did an overnight offering and it's now trading at a premium now. Unfortunately, real estate has taken a beating lately because of interest rate hikes, and I strongly suggest you check out the video with Dino Rico in case you missed it, where we talk about RS. So that, everyone, is my main portfolio. Again, remember, it's a combination of our two TFSAs and cash accounts together. You have everything here. The book price is so total I'm making annually is just under 80 grand, and it comes out to $6,600 a month. Of course, this is including if DGS pays, which it's not right now. So overall, my portfolio summary, I'm down about 10% right now if you compare my value to my book cost. But as you all know, I don't really care about this. Like 4 months ago, I was broken even. And the biggest drag, to be honest, is really the crypto ones, where I'm down like 45% of these. So that's really the biggest drag. But hey, I'm still getting paid. I'm an income investor. All that matters is the monthly income for me anyway. So total income received is 224 here. You know what? I probably didn't update this number for April. I got to update that. And so just in case you don't know what I'm tracking here, I'm only tracking my realized profit and income. So total income received, if you scroll down here, it's just a total of all the income that I've received throughout the years. And yeah, I didn't update it for 2023. This should be about 15K, 16K. I promise I'll update it next time. So that is the income received. Total capital gains, this has nothing to do with the income, although some of the income is considered capital gains. That is just the sales that I've made recently. So 113,000 total capital gains throughout the years. That one I did add the SBC. So, this year, the only thing I've sold is the GDV, which I realized a small capital loss, and SBC, a big capital gain. So if you add that to about 10K. So if you add that together, my capital gains is about 8.6K right now. Total. So that's what this number is here. And the total realized profit is simply these two numbers together. Then there's current portfolio value plus total profit. So that is this number here, or these two numbers together, plus 652. So it's as if, these numbers is, let's say I sell everything tomorrow, I would make a total return of 36.45% because my book cost is 720. I get 652 back in capital plus all the profit I've realized over the years. It would be 989. So that's what that number is about. Actually should be 5K more now because I forgot to add the March income here, but I'll add that for next time. So that's my portfolio overall, everyone. My portfolio objectives and parameters: always have over 10% yield. I'm at 10.92 right now. Always have at least 10% minimum in real estate. I'm at 11.74 RS is my real estate exposure. 10% max crypto. I am at 9.79%. And don't forget that this includes my two TFSAs and joint accounts. There is no drip active on any of these accounts. So every month the cash comes in, I basically pay my living expenses, and whatever's left over gets reinvested in the portfolio. So I hope you enjoyed this portfolio unveil. This is what I live off of, everyone. This is what pays my bills. And again, you could download this file for free on my website. And if there's also a blank portfolio template in case you want one here. And all the changes and what I buy are in these main portfolio tracking tools. Same thing for the RSP as well. So we're going to do this all again. I'll keep you updated every single month. We'll see you next time for update 24. Don't forget, we are all in this together, trying to achieve the same thing, to become financially independent and free. Hey, don't go yet. I have some important reminders, including some more recent ones, and I'll try to keep it as brief as possible. And for everything that I'm about to discuss, the links and info are in the video description below. So first of all, if you didn't know yet, I do offer a one-on-one coaching session where you'll have a 1-hour Zoom call with me where you could ask me all the questions you want, and I'll help you and assist you best I can. Just remember that I am not a licensed or registered financial advisor or planner. So to book a session, go on my website, passiveincomeinvesting.ca, and right there on the homepage on the left-hand side, there is a small video. Watch that video to know how to book a one-on-one properly with yours truly. Also on my website, you could purchase my digital product, the Ultimate DIY Investing Package, which is on version 4 right now. It comes with lifetime updates, so you only have to buy it once. And this is really a reference tool or a companion tool to help you build your own portfolio according to your needs and your objectives. It has lists of funds. It has sample portfolios for both Canadian investors and American investors. So make sure to check it out on my website. I actually created a video which shows the product from A to Z because I don't want you to spend money unless you know exactly what you're getting. So make sure to check that video out on my website. And don't don't take my word for how good it is. Check out the reviews. There's over 300 of them, and they are all 100% real reviews. So here's some more updated news or recent news. I am now on Blossom, a new investing app designed for investors. I've been using it for a few weeks now. I think it's really, really great. It has a really cool feature where users could actually add and share their portfolios and what they're buying and selling every day. So you could actually link your investing account so it's updated automatically on a daily basis. I recently added my own main portfolio so you could follow how my portfolio is doing live and what I buy every month. Really, really cool. It's like a mix of Facebook and Twitter, but specifically for investing. So get on your phone, click on the link in the video description below and download the app. It's 100% free, so you too could share your portfolio. Just remember to look for me and follow me. My username is Adrian, PII altogether. Also, I do have a referral link for Questrade, so you could get $50 worth of free stock purchases. This is the Canadian discount broker that I use and I recommend. Unlike Wealthsimple, the other popular discount broker in Canada, you could drip everything you want. It has all the stocks and it also has dual currency accounts. Very, very convenient if you're buying both Canadian stocks and American stocks. I have a Questrade video, by the way, which gives you a little tour of the features, so make sure to check that out. I also have a referral link for PASSIV. This is the portfolio tracking tool that I use to consolidate all our accounts to get a nice bird's eye view, so you can consolidate all the information together for easy tracking and stats as well. Also, our Facebook group, Passive Income Investing, is now an invite-only private group. So to join it, you need to click on the link in the video description below and give the group a like to get invited. So we take pride in making this one of the best investing Facebook groups out there with over 13,000 members. There's no scams, there's no spammers, and negative and doomsday people, we kick them out right away. Also, follow us on Instagram if you want a little bit more of our personal journey here in Panama. And lastly, just remember everyone, I am not a licensed or registered financial advisor. This channel is all about my personal investing journey and how I invest to generate high passive income from a diversified portfolio of high yield funds. It's for educational purposes only, so don't forget to do your own research and due diligence. And of course, stay safe everyone, stay healthy, and of course, stay passive. See you next time.